when we are able to seek balance and equanimous states, um, we're able to free up a lot more life energy to pursue other things. We expend, as modern humans, a tremendous amount of our life energy in worry, angst, anxiety, stress, and so forth. So when we're able to uh, kind of leave those by the wayside, it opens up a lot more potential opportunity and energy to do things.
Welcome to Mastering the Numbers. I'm your host, Joe Mello. Really excited to have another conversation on my podcast with Keith Engelhardt. He's the founder and CEO of Sawatch Solutions, also NeuroYoga Zone. Plus, I know you have a few more things going on as well. Which we can talk about. Thanks for taking part in my interview series.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell the audience a little bit about Sawatch Solutions and NeuroYoga Zone?
Sure. Sawatch Solutions is my parent sort of umbrella brand for a number of ventures. Its main focus is success, evidence-based and neuroscience-based success and wellness programs, and a little bit more specialized focus is the NeuroYoga zone. It's neuroscience based yoga, meditation, and mindfulness programs to allow people to flatline their stress and basically transform the stress that is so epidemic and transform it into tranquility because it's in those equanimous states that we're able to perform our maximum and not only have greater success but greater life fulfillment. And then another recent launch this last fall, is a neuromarket business portal where I blend neuromarketing, the science basically of why brains buy, why they don't, and pair it up with AI to make marketing messaging and persuasion techniques much more efficient. So might seem like contrasting adventures, but they all have a common root, and everything I pursue in life is rooted in my core values, which are to learn, to teach, to create, to problem solve, and to serve. So the technical aspect is more in the material world, so to speak, and then the yoga, meditation, and mindfulness is sort of our inner engineering and how we can master the amazing technology that we're embodied in so that we can perform and pursue things that we want to in life.
Yeah. Those values, and we talked in a previous conversation, those values are one of the reasons why I was excited to have you on. But also, you talk a lot about stress and you talk about balance. Those are things that I speak to a lot of people about, and we talk about on the podcast all the time. So another reason why I was excited to have you on as well, to learn a little bit more from you. What inspired you to not just start one business, the parent company, Sawatch Solutions, but to start a couple other entities as well? Just not enough
Well,
work?
I'm a firm believer that none of us are one-trick ponies. We have many
Right.
abilities as humans, even though our culture and educational paradigms try and steer us into one lone path in life. Um, so when we do recognize nothing wrong with pursuing one path, there are some hazards because if technology shifts or economic shift, then I don't necessarily have a backup. But I've always been curious and wanted to explore multiple interests in life. I'm an accomplished photographer. I'm an author. I'm a very serious organic gardener, an amateur gourmet chef, plus all my technical pursuits. And when we are able to seek balance and equanimous states, um, we're able to free up a lot more life energy to pursue other things. We expend, as modern humans, a tremendous amount of our life energy in worry, angst, anxiety, stress, and so forth. So when we're able to uh, kind of leave those by the wayside, it opens up a lot more potential opportunity and energy to do things.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I deal with a lot of those things myself, just like everybody else. So
As
it's
have
always a,
I. It took a few
yeah.
decades to figure out some of the ways to offset challenges in life.
Yeah, it's certainly things you have to learn to tamp down to deal with better on a day-to-day basis. So what have been some of the biggest challenges that you've had to face over the years, or struggles that you had to face over the years as you've been growing your businesses?
Well, we're multifaceted as humans. It's not it's a bit idealistic to separate our personal life and our professional lives. So the biggest impact to my professional life and career adventures has been elements of my personal life. The declining health of two parents that lived in other states, and then eventually the loss of both those parents were probably the biggest challenge that I've faced. Um, because you don't flip a switch and separate that even though there's a lot of people think that's possible. It's not.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would have done differently in the growth of your business? I guess
Oh
hindsight
gosh.
2020.
Oh, hindsight's always 2020. I guess the best thing is a lot of less worry and stress about th things. There's an infinite number of responses to anything in life, whether economic shifts or anything that comes up as a challenge for a business or entrepreneur. Um, and one of those infinite number of responses is no response. I can just observe, witness, learn, and choose actions that to move forward and over whatever hurdle or obstacle that I see as a challenge, and not have to again waste a lot of life energy and worry and angst and fret. And recognize that there's only so much that is in my sphere of influence and let go of the things that aren't.
Right. So, so just to summarize that, and so I understand it completely, is just to basically look inside yourself and say, I can't do anything about what just happened. We need to look forward, and we need to um, just deal with it
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way. In a way,
Yeah, well, I'll go to the example as though if there's some
yeah,
sort of
great,
natural disaster, okay? We just had a flood in the community or whatever. I can't control the weather, but there are things within my sphere of influence that I can do to overcome whatever challenges surfaced from that flood or whatever, and also realize that we have a huge amount of potential if we kind of collaborate with other humans.
yeah,
Unfortunately, in the United States, there's this sort of archetype of pathological individualism that I got to do everything myself. It's a solo journey, pull myself up by my bootstraps and so forth. And men especially aren't necessarily taught to rely on others and that you can go farther if you collaborate with others.
yes. It's more or less just deal with what you can deal with
Yeah.
in any situation. I think a lot of us, we go off on tangents trying to solve problems, like you said, that we just can't solve. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great bit of advice, for sure. Well, so with everything that you have going on and everything that you're doing, how do you balance your professional and personal life, or is that something that you're even trying to do?
Well, I see them as being very integrated. Everything I do is rooted in core values. So if you live both your personal life and professional life with the same values, there isn't much separation, and more importantly, you know what to prioritize and to focus on. And these days, there's almost nothing in my day that isn't congruent with my core values. It hasn't always been that way. Um, Early on in my career and my uh, evolution as a human, um, we buy into other people's agendas, other people's values, and so forth. And the more we can stay true to who we are as a core and what we value in life, it requires less energy, and you naturally have focus and
Yeah,
results.
yeah. And how do you maintain your motivation with all that as well? Not just your motivation, but also your focus to continue to grow
Uh,
your business and take
well,
care of your clients.
again, if my focus is to learn, teach, create, problem solve, and to serve, anything that doesn't fit in those categories or those buckets just doesn't get any attention or energy.
So there's just
And
no time not to be motivated and
not,
focused.
exactly. And if you're pursuing things that you're curious and passionate about, it doesn't require much motivation, at least extrinsic motivation. It's all intrinsically driven.
Yeah. And you seem like a fairly focused guy on anyways. So I can see how that worked for you. Do you have a support team either at work or at home that helps as well to continue to maintain that focus?
Um, well, as an introvert, I don't overly rely on too many others. I do have a core group that, again, are aligned with what my intentions and the outcomes I seek are. And I've got trusted friends that I've had for 45, 50 years, uh, where many people these days, friends come and go. They're very transitory, and I just naturally seek out relationships that are meaningful and deeper than maybe the average bear. And some of that has to do with my introverted nature, because it is a
Yeah,
characteristic of introverts.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right. There's friends do come and go, but I think there's a group of us that like to maintain those friendships
Yeah.
from the past. But I think that's probably it's a small group of us
Yeah, and I'd
in
say that
perception.
from experience that you know who your true friends are when challenge or major events come up in your life,
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
very
That it
quickly find out who are true friends.
almost immediately, almost immediately. I agree. I agree. Uh, let's go a different direction here for a second. So within what you're doing, is innovation a continuous part of your organizations?
Absolutely, especially being in the technology fields, for all my career, that technologies evolve, come and go. You know, when I went to high school, we did math on slide rules. Well, that technology is long gone. It evolved to, calculators and then spreadsheets, and now we have AI. So, yeah,
And you just continue to follow that innovation
right. Part of
and
it because I like to master something new, and then just the curiosity of, okay, what is the AI and what's it about, and how can it serve me and serve others?
you always have to continue to learn and develop your skills. I mean, the world's constantly changing, technology's constantly changing.
Only
You can't
constant
get.
in life, the only
Yeah,
constant in life is, and this too will change.
that's right. That's right. So within your industry, how do you stay ahead of other organizations that may do something somewhat similar to you?
Well, I think it's again those core values. I'm constantly curious and learning. Ultimately, kind of circling back to just what we discussed a moment ago, as I think the reason we pop into existence is to evolve, develop our highest potential. Well, that doesn't come from sitting still and spending my days doing the same things over and over again. That's the way you keep a competitive edge, is at least being curious and seeing, okay, what are the new technologies and new opportunities or new ways of doing things? Now, that's a natural challenge for humans because our brains are fundamentally wired for survival, and they like to stay with what's familiar and what's routine. Once it's established a
That's true.
pattern, it
Yeah.
likes to stay there. So it does take some effort and motivation to kind of overcome that and want to be curious and explore anything that's new and evolving.
Yeah, I think, I've noticed that there's a decent amount of people that will get on that path, and even if the path isn't working as well as it could, they can't deviate from it.
Hmm.
I think that's part of what you're talking about, the learning and adapting and making changes. And do you ever look back, like let's say 3 months or 6 months, and say, you know what, that's not working, so we need to shift and go a different direction? Is that a process that you do?
Yeah, there's a constantly looking, okay, is this um, um, fertile path to be taking, or is it doesn't look like it's working out? And yeah, part of life in general is knowing when to pivot and change directions based on feedback that we get. Um, and around the staying stuck or focused, and even though things aren't working out, it's somewhat rooted. I don't know if you're familiar with Carol DeWick and her model of fixed mindsets and growth mindsets.
I'm
Uh,
not.
yeah, she, from her research, found that early in childhood, we develop either a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. And fixed mindsets tend to underestimate their abilities and say, oh, okay, this is who I am, this is what I do, and that's all I can do, and that's it. Growth mindsets will see opportunities for growth or change and evolve. And it's questionable whether that's nurture versus nature, whether it's childhood experiences and maybe adult influences that suppress the curiosity and exploring rather that maybe would result in a growth mindset but regardless, we tend to fall in those two camps. Um, and then the fixed mindsets have a lot more challenge keeping up with, change, whether it be technological, economic, social, um, political, or otherwise.
Yeah, I think that's an important topic that you brought up, because is it possible for someone in a fixed mindset to change? If they know that they're a fixed mindset, let's say they're doing a disc assessment or an enneagram or something of that nature, and they know that they're that type of person, can they change?
I think so. So it may require some effort and
Yeah.
some outside help, so to speak. Some people may be in their high chair beating their spoon, resisting going in a new direction. But ultimately,
Yeah.
I think as humans, you know, we don't do the same thing that our ancestors
Right.
did, thousands of years ago because we evolve and change.
Yeah, I think the first thing is you just have to accept that this is the way you are,
Right.
and then make those changes. So you
Yeah,
have to
there's
understand yourself first.
I forget where that mindset comes from, but the first step in change is acceptance.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So where do you see your business in the next 12 to 36 months?
Gosh, I like that question. I kind of associate with it coming up in a job interview. They say,
Yeah.
they ask you, where you going to be in 5 years or I haven't the foggiest idea. I have some intentions and some outcomes that I want to achieve,
Right.
but I don't know what's going to come along. So where I see myself is still rooted in our core values, pursuing
Yeah.
and changing, evolving, finding opportunities to solve problems and create solutions that hopefully will resonate with the marketplace and be beneficial for both me as well as the people that I hope to serve. It
Yeah.
might seem like a
Well,
vague
no,
answer, but
no.
yeah,
I get it. Sometimes I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
what direction am I going and how long is it going to take me to get there? So I get it for sure.
Yeah. So
So
ultimately,
yeah,
the goals I have for that period is to continue to pursue my efforts with the recent launch, the Neuromarket Business Portal, which is blending neuromarketing, the science of why people are persuaded, why they buy, paired up with artificial intelligence to hopefully put solutions in the hands of entrepreneurs and small businesses because they're at a disadvantage. Some of the big brands that I've worked
right.
for over the years have the um, dollars and resources to explore some of these technologies. Well, they're extremely low cost these days, and anybody can compete with the big brands, so to speak, by leveraging them. So I'll
Yeah.
continue to develop tools and resources for that marketplace.
Well, listen, I look forward to see where everything goes for you. So I'm definitely interested in the conversations we had. So final question, and then we'll let you go. What's the best business advice anybody's ever given you along the way?
Uh, oddly enough, I'll share the backstory. My wife and I were on our honeymoon in San Francisco, and I had just been laid off. And this was the early '90s, and the com bubble pop, and I had just been laid off from a job, and a lot of uncertainty there. And we were in a shop in San Francisco, and I forget what sparked the conversation, um, but I was sharing the backstory about us being on our honeymoon, laid off of work, and a woman said, um, "No matter what you pursue going forward, is don't sell your soul." And I think
I
there's a
think that's great
lot of
advice.
people that prostitute their core values, sell their soul in the pursuit of whatever success, monetary gain, and so forth. So being true to who you are as a human being, your core values will serve you on both sides of life, whether that's your professional pursuits or your personal pursuits.
I think that's fantastic advice, actually. So to wrap this up, if anybody that's out there listening in our audience would like to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
Well, there's a number of ways. The main one is just my email address, CEO at sawatchsolutions.com. And I'm on LinkedIn. I'm easy to find that there as well.
Well, and I'll make sure all that information's out when we release the podcast. So, um, once again, thank you very much for taking part in my interview series. I definitely learned a lot. Um, for everybody out there listening, thank you for attending another episode of Mastering the Numbers. And Keith, I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
I look forward to it.
All right, take care, everybody. You've just tuned into another episode of Mastering the Numbers. We hope you found valuable insight to boost your financial success. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform and leave us a review. Keep pushing forward, and thanks for listening.